You've all been asking for it, so I went out and bought the Marshall Bromley 750. So here you are. It's huge, it's massive, and it blurs the lines between Marshall's amps and their Bluetooth home speakers. While they may get a little confusing to figure out what exactly this thing is, you're probably gonna like it. Wow, this thing costs $1,300. Wait, they just marked it? God, I don't know where Marshall comes up with these things, but this is probably their most devout step in the direction of an amplifier that has stereophonic sound, with 8 drivers around the entire thing. By the way, those of you who have used my affiliate links, you are the ones that are responsible for me being able to afford this thing for the channel. This video is not sponsored, and this is just my 2 cents about the Marshall speaker. All right, so this is the Bromley 750. It's freaking massive. The package was 65 pounds when I got it. It definitely is a statement piece in your apartment because it's huge. It's built pretty much just like the Marshall amps. In fact, I've seen that they have wood construction on the insides, and this thing has a plethora of drivers inside. In fact, it has 8. You get a tweeter up here, mid-range and low-range down here, 2 tweeters up above, 2 side-firing speakers on each side, 2 rear speakers, a tweeter and a mid to low-range in the back. Essentially what that does is allows Marshall to do their signature 360 stereophonic sound, which basically chases you around the room so you cannot escape the sound. You can stand behind the speaker and it still sounds good, which is just super weird. One thing they also have a plethora of on here are knobs. This is the power on and off here. You've got your different inputs. You can change it. AUX right here is what the microphones go into, like your guitars. Fast forward, rewind, pause, play there. You have your standard volume knobs. If you were to use your phone to turn up the volume and turn it down, this will correlate with what your phone's doing, which is nice. Your standard bass and treble here. And then you've got this little middle custom button here. It's gonna go into this weird little strobe mode because that's just what they do when they don't know what to do with the custom button for now. And then over next to it, you have a tone control. This is for when you put in your guitar or microphone, so you can turn up those volumes independently. Over here, this is something you wouldn't normally see on a Marshall speaker. This is the sound character knob. So dynamic mode means like it's going to prioritize all of the detail in the music. So think like quiet listening. It's actually really good for that. But if you want to get really hella loud, you can go all the way up. And this thing does get stupidly loud. It's going to prioritize volume over the fidelity of the sound. And then over here you have your lights control, kind of like your subtle little light show, like not overwhelming. And then you can go to 2, which is this weird little matrix pattern. So 3 right now, I think you have to have some music showing through it, but you get the idea. You've got plenty of lights to choose from. They're not as tacky as the usual RGB lights that you see on speakers. The whole rig here is IP54, meaning don't throw this in the pool and waste your money, but you can get it wet with rain. And if you want to take this thing on the go, you have your little handle here, which has got knurled metal on the top. It feels about as good quality as any sort of decent luggage you would take to your airport. And it's got sort of a rubberized, plasticky kind of wheel. They feel pretty tough. I was happy to see they didn't skimp on the logo either, which I have seen them do on the Marshall Emberton 3. They cheaped out a little bit on this, so good job, Marshall. For $1,300, it better look good. And also, you have a 40-hour battery in this, but that's not all. It's a swappable battery, meaning you can take it out, charge it on USB-C, or you can charge it inside of the speaker with a cable, and it literally lasts 40 hours. What that means is you could pretty much turn this thing off, leave it in your closet for probably a year or 2, and turn it on, and it would still probably at least have half of its power. I have certain models of Marshalls that I don't play all the time, and when I pull them out of the closet, the battery is still good compared to like Bose and JBL, especially Bose, they do not last. So Marshall's probably got one hell of a battery in there at 40 hours. Now, Marshall has been notorious for rolling out features that never really come to light, notably with their Home line series. The Bromley is pretty much in the same category, though I did notice that it has a broadcast feature on the app. If you have a broadcast, meaning like a Bluetooth signal shooting out in the ether, you could latch onto it and have whatever's on it playing through the speaker. The only thing is there's no way for me to actually shoot out a broadcast. I tried my iPhone and I tried my Samsung, and neither of those could do the Auracast broadcast feature, but I was able to bring out a JBL Extreme 4, press the Auracast button, and have this thing actually latch on with the broadcast feature, which is huge. Now, I think they were both playing in mono. I didn't test whether it was stereo or not. Don't buy this and plan on pairing this with another Marshall Bromley, unless you want to do it through the AUX, where it does have a pass-through feature you can do with the cable. So one of the things you can do here that I think might be kind of cool is the AUX out daisy chain. So I can hook it up to the Tufton back here. And so here's the final product. That's the Bromley. Huge props to the Lego design team. They didn't just slap a candy cane sticker on an AT-AT. That's cool. Okay, that's kind of cool. You can do that. I like that. Now, while I don't have any other party speakers to compare this to, I do have the Tufton and the Woburn, so I will play you a little bit of a sample so you can hear what these sound like. This is Danny from the editing bay. I just want to note, the reason that Tufton sounds so clear and the Woburn is just because the cardioid mic is centered up on those speakers, whereas the Bromley is trying to push audio in a bunch of different directions. So they're really a fundamentally different experience, but I still play this for you so you can get a sense of it anyways. So this is what reverb sounds like, almost full. I am very impressed by the sound out of this. It doesn't feel super processed to me. Like, it feels like it's hitting all of the right elements. The mids to the upper highs, like the cymbals, like everything sounds really good. I have listened to the Soundbox party speakers. Those kind of sounded muddy in comparison to the Marshall Bromley here. It only took me like a fraction of a second once I started playing some music out of it to realize this thing sounds amazing. It is absolutely a wonderful speaker. You will not be disappointed with the quality of the audio coming out of it. It's hella expensive. It's $1,300. I do kind of think that it provides something aesthetically and sound-wise that I don't feel like the other party speakers really step up to the plate to. It really feels like you're buying a Marshall amp, even though it's not for that purpose. Like, it's starting to blur the lines. You know, while this thing's not made in England like their amps are, it doesn't feel like it's sacrificing anything necessarily for its specific purpose. I don't know if I would be busking with this speaker necessarily. Like, it's almost too nice for that. I do want to share something with you. When I bought this speaker, it got stolen in the mailroom of my apartment. I let Marshall know. I filed a police report. We couldn't figure out what happened to him, but I'm pretty sure they got stolen. But Marshall, they don't know who I am. I never told him I was Danny Pops and I was going to review this, but I will say that they treated me with a lot of kindness. I bought this around the holiday season, and once they figured out that, like, hey, this thing got stolen and there was no way I was involved, you know, in a nefarious way, and that I legitimately, like, didn't get the product I ordered, they sent me a new one. You know, they elevated it to their management team and they treated me with a lot of kindness and respect and empathy. And so I will say the fact that Marshall treated me and didn't know who I was and treated me like that speaks a lot about their brand and their integrity. And I have nothing but positive things to say about them. Like, if you want to work with a reputable company, Marshall is very reputable and they took care of me. So kudos to Marshall for doing that. So anyways, you've made it to the end of the video. Thanks for being here, and I will see you guys later. What do you think of the Bromley? You gonna save up for it, or are you gonna do something else? Either way is fine. You don't have to get this, but that's pretty nice.